Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find that this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and let us know how this resonates with your circumstance. So, chosen, I want to talk to you all today about how the entertainment industry uses telekinesis to control the masses. Now, I will tell you that the term entertainment industry is being used interchangeably with the Matrix as a whole, okay? Because the Matrix as a whole is just a bunch of actors that are in different suits, different uniforms, wearing different masks, but they all have a very similar agenda. And that is to control every last one of you out there in order to maintain their position of power. So we're talking about the powers that were. They are the actors as well as the puppet masters. They write the scripts and they act it out. But where you all play a role in this, with the telekinesis of the entertainment industry, we're talking about political, religious, we're talking about sports industry, the music industry, we're talking about whether it be through the educational system, even the medical industry, all of them are one big bowl, one big cauldron, okay? They're coming together with one agenda, and that is to create wealth, power, and authority for themselves and to maintain that for as long as possible at the risk of putting you to sleep and having you as the walking dead, pretty much the zombies in their apocalypse, okay? So I want to talk to you all about this telekinesis. So for some of you, you may know what it is. For others of you, I'll tell you telekinesis is the movement of objects at a distance by mental power or non-physical means. So moving something from a distance using your mental power. You're not touching it. You're not doing anything to it physically, but you are shaping and moving something through the mind. So how are they using telekinesis? Well, let's look at the entertainment industry as a whole. We're going to start off with the term entertainment, okay? As you all know, it's broken down. Enter means to enter into, right? To go into something. Tain is short for obtain. So they're trying to obtain something from you, entering into your subconscious mind to obtain your energy, to obtain your thoughts. But meant, the final part of entertainment, also, hold on one second, is the result or means of an action. Now, my spiritual team has had me write all of these things down because they've been flooding me with different information. So y'all will catch me going back and forth to my notes as I'm speaking to you today. But this is all directly from my spiritual team, not from somebody else's mouth or notes, straight from the spiritual team, okay? So to enter is to go into, then obtain, to obtain, to get something or to secure something. So they're going into you and they're entering into you through this entertainment to obtain something. How do they enter? Some of you might be like, how do they enter? Through your vision, through your ears, through your movement. It's all through your senses that they enter into you, okay? So when we're talking about, for example, music, music is a universal language where a particular beat, even if you don't know what they're saying, it will get you moving. It can get you to crying. It can get you into rage. It can get you to feeling happy, right? Enter, whether it's through movies, okay? Cinema. I'm going to talk to you all about cinema because the term cinema also means movement. So cinema is another word for their movies, right? Movies means a moving picture. So they're entering into you through various tactics from a distance, though. They don't have to touch you. They don't have to, it's indirect manipulation of your vessel, of your avatar, of your spirit, okay? This is how they are using telekinesis to control the masses, even through the religious structure. Okay, there's various ways that they utilize that energy and those doctrines to first condition the mind to believe a particular thing, to have certain fears, to have certain hangups, to have certain beliefs, to guide and direct you to focus your intentions in one way, in one direction towards deities that they have created. One specific deity they created was the deity Jesus. Okay. I've already spoken to you all about this in a few messages, but we can go back over that. This deity Jesus was created. It is an image of Caesar Borgia, who was a very prominent figure. He was a murderer. Okay. He committed incest with his sister. He was also known to be a homosexual, murder, homosexual, incest. But the image of Jesus was created after Caesar Borgia. Now, this is one way that religion directs your attention and your focus without necessarily touching you, but they use it to manipulate your energy in order to carry out whatever their agenda is at the time. Politics is the same way. They will get your focus over here and to move you emotionally by thinking about particular things that you have been deprived of. And this one over here is going to say, okay, well, those things that you've been deprived of, we can offer it to you if you just direct your focus over here. They're not touching you, but they are saying particular things and putting ads out there and reminding you on billboards everywhere you go. And, you know, even at church, they'll have certain political figures come into church where they always claim that church and religion was separated, which is not true. But even at school, they're preparing you, without touching you per se, but through the manipulation of your mind. So this is a whole system. This whole matrix uses telekinesis in order to move masses of people in the direction that they want things to go. This is how they maintain their position of control and power. So when we're looking at, even when we're talking about fans, right? They call people who are very drawn to particular celebrities, fans. So what is a fan though? Even when we're looking at fan, we're looking at to inspire, or it could also create spiritual arousal. A fan moves energy around, right? That's what a physical fan does. It moves energy around. So you would be the tool that is used for the powers that were to help them with their rituals. Everything that they do is ritualistic. I'm talking about rituals, spell work, okay? Using the dark arts to manipulate people. They have been doing this for a very, very, very long time. But a lot of people got their eyes shut and they're looking at it too much on the surface and they don't want to see what's really going on behind the veil. But that veil is being snatched back in the age of Aquarius. No more walking around talking about, I don't see it. Oh, I don't know. Oh, you're going to find out today if you don't already know. So we're talking about fans. You would be that energy that's moving that energy around. I know for many of you chosen seeds out there, you ain't a fan of nobody, right? You're not a fan of nobody. You don't, run after anybody. And if you are, you definitely want to reevaluate that, because you're helping to enhance the energy of a lot of the rituals that these people who are puppets are carrying back to the powers that were. Now, when we're talking about because we're talking about telekinesis, the first part in telekinesis is tele. It's also defined as covering distance, right? So as I said, telekinesis is being able to move an object from a distance. So tele is covering distance. How do they cover this distance? This is where they're sending coded messages from one place to another along a wire. So when you have, let's just utilize, let's talk about the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is one big stadium or arena, right? When you go to the Super Bowl, you have thousands of people who have gathered, whether it is, well, we're just talking about sports for this reason, but the Super Bowl also brings in particular singers, musicians to perform during halftime, right? During halftime. So the Super Bowl is one big sphere. It's shaped like a sphere. Everybody is surrounding this group of people who's now in the center of this bowl, right? So you have all of the fans who are around, and they are being used to move energy. They're moving energy. So they might say something that gets everybody hyped up. Ah, everybody's yelling, everybody's standing up, people are clapping. Energy is being moved around. Some people are even angry, getting hyped up, okay, excited, all right? All of this is happening in one bowl. One bowl. Now, this will be the witch's brew. And the witch's brew is usually in a what? A pot, a bowl, a cauldron. It's called a cauldron. So they utilize specific shapes or formats of creating their blueprint because they understand how energy moves, okay? And so they're creating that bowl, and every single fan that's present and the energy that's being projected from each individual is being siphoned and harnessed and harvested for their rituals, okay? This is why during halftime, many of you have been able to evaluate that certain performances, pretty much all of them, are very ritualistic, from the colors that they use, from the movement, from the words, from the angles by which they stand, and the different props that they have all around them. All of this stuff is ritualistic. And then you have the fans who are all hyped up, emotional, sending all of that energy out there to help enhance that. And so there is that's that boiling over of energy inside of that cauldron. The energy is heating up, okay? The energy is gaining momentum through the people who are present at the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is just one gigantic bowl, right? Bowl of energy, which is inside of their cauldron. And so you have those, the powers that were in the background, siphoning that energy and doing their rituals and their spell work while all of that energy is being moved around by the fans. That's one way of looking at this. So again, telekinesis is the ability to manipulate objects through the mind, using the mind, but not physical touch. That's a very powerful example. So then we're also talking about through television. Many of you, when you hear television, you say, tell lies to your vision, which is definitely a powerful way of looking at it, because that's exactly what they're doing, telling lies to your vision. Television is also, we're talking about tele, which is covering distance once again, but vision is also defined as denoting a supernatural apparition, okay? So something supernatural that's being created, a vision, being able to foresee something. Usually someone who has a vision, they're able to see something that is in their mind's eye, but they're not necessarily seeing it through their natural eyes. Or it's like seeing something that some might call a ghost or phantom. It's not tangible. It's not something that you can put your hands on, but you can definitely see it, right? Same thing when you're watching television. They're able to utilize your vision, what you are taking in through the windows of your soul. You're taking it in, whatever they're putting on the screen, and you are reflecting it and projecting it back out into the universe, right? So then you become the projector. This is how they're able to move energy as well, because how they use this is like, okay, entertainment industry, one thing that has become very, very prevalent, which is a hot mess, is these BBLs, right? But nobody would have started getting BBLs unless they had seen it through television, right? They had to see it. And someone, an entertainer, would continue to perpetuate this energy that is attractive. And then you have all of these other, people who are so-called in high positions and have money that's actually acting as if they find that attractive, which I know they don't. Because actually most of those men in entertainment, as you are finding out now, are actually homosexuals. So the only reason why they will be attracted to a woman with a BBL is because a trans would look very similar to a woman with a BBL. Why? Because it looks unnatural. And a transvestite would look unnatural when they get particular enhancements, cheek fillers, lip fillers, butt, breast fillers. They usually accentuate it to the extreme. And so for a woman to do the same thing, it actually helps those homosexual men in the industry to feel better about being with either trans men or, doing what they do behind the scenes because they can cover it up. They can easily go and get a man who is a trans that has all of these enhancements and walk shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm with them on a red carpet, and nobody would question it. Most people would just say, ooh, she did way too much surgery on herself, because now you can't tell the difference. That's another way of using telekinesis on the masses, because now you have a bunch of women who don't love themselves running out here to go up underneath the knife to do a procedure that kills more people, okay, does more damage than good. And they're spending all their money to get these enhancements that look very unnatural. That's another way where it's being utilized. So we're looking at also the term, let's go and break down Hollywood, okay? So Hollywood is very interesting because holly is actually a tree. Many of you are familiar with these trees during Christmas time, because I don't celebrate none of that stuff. But during Christmas time, these trees are often used. They're like they have these really prickly leaves, and they have these little red berries on them, right? The holly is actually, it stands for the Christ, the sacrifice of Christ, because those same leaves would be used on, what do you call them, wreaths or whatever they would put around the head of Christ in a lot of photos. And then the berries, which are red, are to represent the drops of blood that would fall from the crown of Christ during the sacrifice. And so holly, that's what holly represents, the plant itself, but it's also broken down with a more spiritual meaning, which is connected to the sacrifice of Christ. Now, wood obviously will be representation of the crucifix that was made out of wood. Many of them, many people say that Christ would have been hung from a tree, but either way, they would use wood to create the crucifix itself. So Hollywood is representation of the sacrifice of Christ. Now, what Christ are they talking about? They're talking about the sacrifice of Christ's consciousness as a whole, because Hollywood will go on to bring forth films that could definitely shape and shift by using telekinesis, though, shaping and shifting, moving the thoughts around in the mind of people to make them act in a particular way, to move in a particular way, to believe or to react in a particular way, because many of their movies, their films, their series, their sitcoms are highly influential on the sleeple or sheeple. So Hollywood is the sacrifice of Christ's consciousness. Okay, so then you have the scripts where you have written words where the actors will come in and act out what has been written. So you have this entire play. We're not just talking about Hollywood as in the music industry. Not music, but the movie industry. No, I'm talking about Hollywood as in the political things that you see. Remember that a lot of this is screenplays. It's all scripted. A lot of the people that you see, like considering when we're talking about even with Trump, this is someone who was doing reality TV before. A lot of the news anchors, you will see them in movies. A lot of the talk show hosts, you will see them in movies, okay? Even religious figures in movies acting out doing a sermon in a movie, okay? They're all actors with one agenda, and that is to perform telekinesis on the masses, to move you to do their will, pretty much, to do their bidding for them without touching you. So it's all magic. A trick of the hand from a distance is what has been going on with the entertainment industry, the matrix as a whole. So They're shifting your vision and causing you to be the projector, to create things, okay? Now, let me see. Even when we're looking at, let's go back to television. We're talking about channeling. When you pick up the remote and change the channel, you are channeling energy. So it's like these beings are able to capture the desires of the masses in your carnal nature. They're only able to capture your energy when you are in a low vibrational state. In a low vibrational state, they understand what the carnal minded man and woman desires. They are able to channel that energy very, very easily because that is their realm of power. They possess power in that realm, in the underworld. That's where their power lies. And so the carnal minded man or woman projects a particular energy. These will be things that you do in secret. These will be the things that are your guilty pleasures, those things that drive your lust and those pleasure seeking patterns. And so when Hollywood, when the entertainment industry puts things on television, they are using telepathy to understand what your lower nature desires to see. So in your lower nature, you may desire to see someone get killed. In your lower nature, you may desire to see the sacrifice of someone. In your lower nature, you will desire to see particular sexual acts play out. In your lower nature, there are just certain things. Even what's even crazy is that, shoot, like YouTube, for instance, different social media platforms, even eating, watching people eat has become a very big thing. Like people get millions of views just by sitting there and just chewing, crunching on something really crunchy. You know, it's supposed to be satisfying, right? These are all things that would play on your lower nature. So the powers that were uses telepathy to channel what your lower nature desires, and they push that out there for you to where now you have the ability to, just switch on here, switch on there, and now you get to view and get entertained with these guilty pleasures, these lust-driven desires. That's how they channel energy. So you can change the channel that way, right? Whether it's going to politics, you're watching your so-called favorite political, whoever these people are, right? And then you change the channel and you might watch your favorite religious actor. Then you might change the channel and watch your favorite actor as they perform some sort of sex act, then you change the channel again and you'll watch another actor murking, killing off thousands of people, right? Or you'll turn on the news channel and you'll watch a lot of these actors tell you this and that and, shifting information in order to fit their agenda. At the end of the day, none of it is real, but all of it plays on the lower nature of a man or woman. And so it feeds the beast of Babylon. They're channeling that energy from you through your emotions, through your energy. They channel that energy from you and they use the television to create their telekinesis. Now, of course, a lot of these things are played out right there in your face. It doesn't have to just be through television. Even when we're talking about music, which is also defined as art. But what is art? Art is some form of a picture. It creates a picture. Even sound has it has a particular frequency that also projects a particular color. So when you hear music, it moves you on different levels, okay? It has the ability to, you can listen to the radio and 1 minute you're feeling, compassionate towards others. you're feeling loving and you're desiring love, or you're feeling sad about a lost loved one, then something else will come on and you're feeling angry and hyped up, ready to take somebody out of here. Then you can hear another one and you're feeling you know self-loathing, or just victimhood mentality. Like, they know how to shift your energy through channels, constantly channeling your energy. And this is why it's so important. I'm not going to make this too long. I need you all, for those of you who are the spiritual warriors out there, because I meant to start off with the declaration. We have a declaration to do. Okay. I just want to make sure that I've covered everything. We spoke about the arenas, where it's a sphere, it's a scene of conflict. That's another definition. Look up arena. When we're talking about where a lot of these so-called celebrities perform, the arena is a sphere, but it's also defined as a scene of conflict or intense activity. A scene of conflict or intense activity. So they know that the energy is intensified, but they put you inside of a sphere, which is the same shape as a cauldron. Look up cauldron. It's that pot that's often in, that's often in movies and, cartoons or whatever, where they have the witch brewing up the witch's brew. That's the pot. That's called a cauldron. Okay. And so the people who are there at these arenas are the fans who are moving the energy around. And the arena is also defined as a place of conflict or intense energy. So that's what gets that pot boiling. You are the boiling energy, where your energy is becoming more and more intensified and is gaining momentum as you observe whatever it is that you're looking at, whether it's a performance, a music performance, or whether it's a sports where you have one team against the other, opposition, clashing of energy, and you have all of these fans over here on this side that want this team to win, the greenback, let's say the Packers to win over here. And on this side, you got everybody that wants the Redskins to win. So now you have this opposition of energy, this push and pull of energy, and that's how you get things boiling. Okay, even when you're talking about water that boils, I think it's the positive ions with the negative, and they start to move around real fast. However that works, somebody, you can put it down in the comments, okay? And that's what gets the energy moving. And then suddenly you boil something long enough, what happens? It turns into vapor. It looks like it's invisible, but no, it's not. It hasn't gone anywhere. All of that energy that's being created through the fans at these so-called arenas is being siphoned and harnessed, and they're doing all of their spell work and their rituals at that very moment when it's happening, okay? Even when we're talking about celebrities, these are people who are, Sela is, the Greek origin of this word is tumor or swelling. Sela. The Greek origin of that is tumor or swelling. So that's a collection of various things. Generally, a tumor is not a good thing, right? A tumor is not a good thing. But they're able to collect a lot of low vibrational energy enough to be able to create a virus for the masses, right? Something that can be deadly to the soul or the spirit of a man, right? Even physically cause death to a man or woman, because it creates such a combative energy, or sometimes a depressive energy, to where people take themselves out, or they taking other people out. These people have been using this form of magic for a very, very long time. So remember what we went over concerning Hollywood, why they came up with that particular term, how they are using telekinesis through the people. What it means to be a fan is to move the energy around on their behalf, and how they're using television in order to create visions that you will project back out into the universe. How you are channeling energy when you're changing the channels. All of these different things, okay, comes together to create their witch's brew. So what we're going to do as a whole is we're going to do a declaration. This will go on a black candle if you have one. If you don't have a black candle, just put it on any candle, okay? Use a candle. Write it on the glass of a candle with a permanent marker. I call back my energy from the entertainment, religious, and political industries. I call back my energy from the entertainment, religious, and political industries. I call judgment for all siphoning of energy from myself and my loved ones to enhance the power and authority of others in spirit, in flesh, across all timelines, realms, and dimensions. I'm going to repeat that again. I will also be typing this in the comment section below, so look for it. This is a very, 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 very important ritual, probably one of the most important rituals that we could have done thus far. And we have many of them dating back from over 3 years ago. So please go back, watch, and do those rituals with us. It's never too late. So I call back my energy from the entertainment, religious, and political industry. I call judgment for all siphoning of energy from myself and my loved ones to enhance the power, authority, and wealth. Let's add that in: a power, authority, and wealth of others in spirit, in flesh, across all timelines, realms, and dimensions. I'm going to repeat this one more time. And y'all know I do not repeat stuff this often, but this is very important. I call back my energy from the entertainment, religious, and political industries. I call judgment for all siphoning of my energy and the energy of my energy, or for all siphoning of energy, for all siphoning of energy of myself, my loved ones, and my loved ones to enhance the power, authority, and wealth of others in spirit, in flesh, across all timelines, realms, and dimensions, known and unknown. Put that on a candle. Give thanks to the Most High and your spiritual team, and let that candle burn. We're going to all do this together. So I hope this message helped to open up your eyes to how they have been utilizing dark magic, spell work, wicked rituals, and actually using your energy out there to enhance these rituals. They can't do it without you. They can't do it without you. So this is where we call back our energy, and not only do we call it back, but we call judgment for what they have done with our energy and how they used it to create their power, wealth, and authority over the masses. That's my message for you all. I love you. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know, what do you think about this? And do you have anything to add in terms of your observation of how they're using spell work over the masses through the entertainment industry, the matrix as a whole? That's my message. I'll talk to y'all next time.